Let's move straight to our final conversation. An intentional government builds systems that outlast political cycles, and Lagos State is framing itself around that principle with another innovative initiative. The state government is set to launch a 500 billion naira Produce for Lagos Offtake Guarantee Fund and program on Wednesday, the 23rd of July. The public-private partnership aims to revolutionize the agriculture sector by boosting food production, reducing waste, and improving market access for farmers. Now, joining us for more on the discussion on this issue is the Managing Director and Chief Executive of Origin Technology Group, Prince Joseph Samuel. Prince Joseph Samuel, thank you so much for joining us on Journalist Hangout.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for having me.
All right, so let's begin the conversation this way. Just set the context straight for us. I mean, what is Produce for Lagos about? I mean, what's the idea behind it?
Produce for Lagos and produce
Producing Lagos.
in Lagos. What do you want to achieve?
Thank you very much, sir. Lagos in 2020 launched the food system roadmap, and which has market as a backbone of it. Lagos is a very big market for food. Over 14 trillion worth of food is consumed in Lagos. But this market is not very organized to control demand the way it should be, and then to support production the way it should be. Half of the food that comes to Lagos goes to waste because of post-harvest losses. And these losses, this waste goes to become food inflation, increasing the price of food. And so Lagos started this program that would help to reorganize it, and our group partners to build the largest food logistics hub situated in Ketirenu in Epe, Lagos, and a lot of middle-level markets. Now, this project is about to be completed and launched in December. And in preparatory to this, there's a need to reorganize and ensure that there is proper production to support this market. Now, every state in Nigeria has a large pool of farmers, but these farmers are not organized to produce the way it should be. So Produce for Lagos is an attempt to tell farmers that, look, you have 14 trillion up for grab in Lagos. And this 14 trillion, you can have a piece of it by registering to produce specifically to bring your produce to the hub in Lagos and for the final produce for the consumers. So the fund is an Offtake Guarantee Fund that allows farmers, even before they produce, to be able to obtain loans and produce targeted to Lagos. And by the way, we are lucky and privileged to have Mr. President, who is also passionate about agriculture, and he's now focused in helping to revolutionize agriculture. And with the convening and the goodwill capital of the President, Lagos somehow has been well positioned since 2020 to take advantage of this revolution that Mr. President is also undertaking. So Produce for Lagos is positioned to help farmers in Nigeria, and particularly produce affordable food for Lagosians.
So how will this initiative impact on food prices, which is a big concern to our people, and what is the potential for job creation?
Thank you, sir. That's the main objective. Now, currently, price of food in Lagos with Produce for Lagos can drop by the time it's fully operational, drop by way up to 30%. Why? You currently have about 50% of waste associated with transportation, poor packaging, poor harvesting practice. All of this will be a thing of the past. If you have that 50% savings, you can hope that at least 20% will translate to a cheaper food for people and a better quality food. And this has been done. In 2023, Lagos launched the first food hub in Mushin, And it has been a boost. It has been very successful. If you go to Mushin today, you probably will buy food cheaper at 20–15% than you will buy in the nearest market to the Mushin hub. This is what this initiative is aimed at. And this project is designed to support over 5 million farmers. And in the long run, we are hopeful that it will do between 7 to 8 million jobs. Currently, Lagos needs 5.5 million hectares to support its food demand. And these 5.5 million hectares is represented in land in various states in Nigeria and various farmers that are currently benefiting from the Lagos markets.
Now, if you look at the food supply situation in Nigeria, because
Yes,
of the value of our currency that has declined in the last few years, our neighbors are literally packing away produce from Nigeria. In fact, it is said that even as far as Central African Republic, agric produce from Nigeria are being sold right up to Mali, even Burkina Faso. How are you sure that you will be able to get sufficient supply of food, given that these farmers, especially in northern Nigeria, know that they stand to make a lot of money from pushing agri-produce across our borders?
Well, thank you. I think this project is clearly designed to support the situation that we are in. Now, our challenge, I'm aware that Mr. President recently has given approval for a study that would help to transform this. For example, our key challenge is we must be able to ID our farmers, and our farmers must be tied to markets. Now, if you are a farmer that produces for Lagos and you are in Ogun State and you have 100 hectares of, say, pineapple, this pineapple is already sold. Both the harvesting, the planting, the transportation, the day of harvest is already recorded in our dashboard, in our database. And on the day of that harvesting, you actually cannot harvest. On the day of the harvesting, those who will harvest will come and harvest because it has to be harvested properly and then transported to market. And that's why this project also has a very huge logistics component with brand new LNG and CNG trucks for transportation. But away from that, I understand the challenge we have with our neighbors, but this can also be a plus. It is only because there is no sufficient production, because we have enough land, and there's no sufficient production because of capital, and there's no organized capital because there is no organized market. Now, with organized market, you have organized capital, then we have organized production. And as you can see, even when we talk about our currency, it has to do with productivity. Now, when we get our people to become more productive, then you can be very sure that we have better capital, we have better funding for our farmers, and our people can begin to earn money. What is the challenge that we are trying to cure? Our farmers currently earn about $2,000 per capita per farmer. Now, we produce for Lagos, the aim would be for us to take them to 5,000. One, you need to enhance their productivity. And what do you do with that? When somebody has organized production, there are a lot of support mechanisms that Produce for Lagos has already designed. For example, there are input partners in this project who are supplying inputs, who are saying, look, if you buy this seed, buy this fertilizer, you'll get 10 tons per hectare. And because you obey them, and because it's coming to Lagos market, you are sure of that 10 tons. So the man who is currently getting 2 tons is now getting 10 tons. Automatically, he is earning 5 times what he's currently earning. He can sell cheaper and still earn good money. Aside from this, our neighbors are a good market. I believe the job to do, of course, they should not sabotage us. But the job we would continue to do is to see how we can enhance and support these farmers. I'm sure you know recently, Mr. President launched a large chunk of tractors, bulldozers for clearing and all of that. I think it's a massive thing that we need to support. And Lagos, with this kind of program, is only supporting the federal government by creating a market that will support the farmers to produce better. So we are in for a big revolution in agriculture in Nigeria with Mr. President and the position of Lagos State.
Yeah, well, there are two issues that have always confronted us as a nation when it comes to agriculture. You mentioned one earlier on, but you've not told us how you are going to tackle it. That's preservation. Yeah. Like you said, a lot of stuff come into Lagos, and you go to the market, you see them wasted. Especially tomatoes and Irish potatoes, all of those. And then also is the security of the loans. If it's worth a 14 trillion naira project, how do you hope to secure the loans? Because we've had banks, especially dedicated to agric, especially the Bank of Agriculture, that's ran into problem in the past. Farmers taking the money, not coming back, but going to marry more wives. How do you address these two issues?
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Well, the first, let me address the issue of market. Now, the Produce for Lagos is a 500 billion naira guaranteed fund. Lagos is a 14 trillion food market, 14 trillion. Current challenge you have is when you give loans to farmers, you even are not able to ID them and tidy them to an off-taker. We Produce for Lagos, all our farmers already have where to sell, and they have a day of harvesting. So anybody who gives loans to our farmers, I think, has 95% chance of getting his money back. 95%. That's how the project has been so tied. For example, this project has a traceability program. So that is, the pineapple produced in Ogun and that produced in Ekiti have different track markers. And these markers are unique IDs that when you scan it with your phone, you'll be able to see where it's been produced for, because it is a Produce for Lagos farmer. So definitely you get the money back. So in terms of the challenges you have in returns for investment, and this is actually what the project is designed to do. And if you look at it, sir, you currently have food, banana sold cheaper in London. You have pineapple sold cheaper in Dubai. Why? And all of these things are not produced there. They're actually flown in from other countries, flown in by air. Why? There's already organized production to support an organized demand. And that organized demand is saying, this is what I can pay, and I will pay you this money for 50 years. And because of that, demand is ready to take small profit and a guaranteed market. And that's what we want to make Lagos do.
Okay, now for the payment of farmers and others in the ecosystem, you talked about the logistics and everyone in that value chain. For the farmers, after delivering their produce, will they be paid instantly and transparently?
Or upfront?
Or upfront, even.
Okay, yes. So the structure is such that the market is a whole value chain. So you have different level of operators. So farmers sell to bulk aggregators who pay them instantly, and sometimes they pay them advance upfront. The bulk aggregator comes to Lagos and is a registered operator at the hub. A farmer too can be a bulk aggregator anyway. Immediately you are able to supply to the hub, you get instant payment. And that's where the hub comes in. The largest food logistics hub has the largest blast freezer in the world, one of the largest blast freezers in anywhere in sub-Saharan Africa. And we also have the largest food logistics processing storage in the same facility. It's 5 million tons of food to be stored at the facility at a time. 750 trucks are to be packed at a time in the logistics hub. And so we have capacity to store. That is one revolution that is happening in Lagos that is not happening anywhere in sub-Saharan Africa. Just to be able to support this massive number of people, 24 million people, with a good program that will be sustainable over a long period.
Now, as you prepare for tomorrow's launch,
Yes.
give me an idea of how positive you think of this this initiative, how excited you are that it's finally going to be put to bed.
Thank you, sir. I think it's very exciting, and my brother, we decided to come on TV because it's something we have sweated, labored, worked hard with international partners, friends, to which we launched in 2021. The roadmap was launched in 2021. Construction started in 2022, and first project was commissioned in 2023. And like that, we have about 5 projects to commission this year, to flag off this year. And then we have loads of international partners who are funding us. So you can imagine how excited we are that for the first time we are doing something that has huge level of believability. People say, oh, this is what should be done, and supporting it massively. And we are grateful for the support of Mr. President on the project, and of course grateful for the pioneering role the governor of Lagos is also taking. So it's very exciting, sir. I mean, we just spoke about banks who have been losing money. This time around, banks are going to fund agriculture massively. You can be very sure of that with the market opportunity in Lagos that is now being very organized. So we are very excited, sir. Thank you.
Okay, but are all the facilities ready? Because in the last 2 years, we've been saying we are building this here, we are building this there, this. Are they all ready now?
Well, we have, Mushin has been operating. Abijo is also ready for commissioning. The logistics hub was built to be commissioned in May. Unfortunately, we could not. We shifted it to sometimes this year, late November. We will start dry run by October. And you ask if all the facilities have been ready. There are 54 buildings in the project. The smallest building is 4 football fields, the smallest one. And the biggest building there is 11 football field, the current one ongoing. So these are massive structures. And one of the challenges you have is that you have to build logistics up at the upper place, areas that have upper elevations. And when you have that around the south, what you have also is that you don't have a flat land. So you have to do a lot of cut and fill to get that flat land and to get to start building. So we've had a lot of challenges, but the largest logistics hub in the world took 9 years to build in France. And it was built by Charles de Gaulle, and it was completed in '69. It started in 1961. So we are building something similar and going to be larger. And we have been able, by the grace of God, to get where we are now in less than 3 years. It will be 3 years in December. So you can imagine how much work. It has been tireless work. And I mean, we will still come on Journalist Hangout to tell you the story of this project by the grace of God.
Absolutely. We want to say thank you to you. We've been speaking with Prince Joseph Samuel. He's the Managing Director and Chief Executive of Origin Technology Group. Thank you so much for coming on Journalist Hangout.
Thank you for having me. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, but as beautiful as this initiative is, middlemen will middlemen be brushed aside?
This whole idea is to effectively brush them aside because they are a big factor in the unfair pricing of food in our country.
Absolutely.
You know, they are the big factor.
A major factor.
If you take them out, because they buy plenty of produce and then go and warehouse them somewhere, waiting for artificial scarcity to drive up food prices. So if they can take them out of the picture, yes, of course, we'll see prices come down. In Yobe State, they moved against them at a point, and we saw that food prices started coming down. So they make far more money than the farmers who sweat,
Absolutely.
who risk their lives.
All right, then. It's a fine place for us to leave it. Dr. Oladipo, thank you so much for doing this with us on the show. Thank you so much.
Lagos is always a pace setter.
Exactly.
That's why we are happy.
It's a center of excellence for a reason. Absolutely.
Yes.
BKO, thank you so much for doing this with us. And that's all on Journalist Hangout today. You can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode tonight at 11. Join us on Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. for Journalist Hangout on Sunday. We are on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Benga. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.